requirement some hot sauce with this macaroni and cheese, and there is none. Home Chef doesn't include hot sauce in here, and I don't have any to add to Home Chef being this way. So I want a really good dinner tonight because last night I sort of missed dinner because I had a lunch. So I was hungry for dinner last night, but I missed it. So this is dinner tonight, or I could have something else. I want to go by the date here. It reads November 22nd, 2025. So that's, yes, use it before its freshness is timed out by itself. Yeah. I have some French fries here. You can just put them in an oven. And serve them. But if it was to be made, I suppose a restaurant would deep fry them. So you can pan fry them. I don't have any oil. No, for frying, and I don't have a fryer. What about air fryer? Do you have to put oil in an air fryer? Well, if I wanted to eat Home Chef macaroni and cheese with these French fries for like a dinner, that would not be a really good dinner, but what I would need to do is I can sort of make half and half. I can make half of this and half of this, and then I have to store two open, empty. Are you saying I'm the only one here and I can store something open? Oh, that's interesting. I'm the only one here and I can store something open if I wanted to. Yeah, but in what? Because you didn't give me any storage containers with this. Technically, I have to throw something out tonight because I can't eat 28 ounces plus 24 ounces of food all at once. It's too much. So, how do I prepare this food so that I'll be comfortably full? I'm hungry and I'm ready to eat, but I have to cook first because nobody else is cooking for me. So I need half of this and half of this. I have a fork here from the Olive Garden. I can use it to eat the macaroni once it's heated up. Is that a dead fly in there? Oh, you gotta see this. Yeah. Just remember, I'm the only one here. Well, let's do some disaster control. Where do I put this down? Because everything I need to move out. Well, let me just say it that way. That dead fly can have this whole apartment. I want to go out this door and I want to have another key. You know, like however somebody had a key to this place and gave it to me and told everyone that, you know, I had it all along or it was never yours. Shonda Novice, where is the key? Oh, is that the key right there? Oh, so where is Shonda? Because I don't know her anymore. Is she in jail? If she's not in jail, she's not taking care of the maintenance of this place. Like, why isn't she cleaning the apartment? She just said I can have it. Wow, she gave me more than it was worth in problems to be here, but that's what's alive. Yeah, well, I'm not here to be fair to myself. You're not fair to myself, but I am here in what is alive. And it's alive this way that Shonda gave out a key and she just disappeared and she's not doing any of the cleaning motions on this apartment. And I didn't say that I'm her, but the police forced this problem with police evictions out of apartment number 2 at the Shields Apartments near the Charleston and Maryland Parkway area in Las Vegas. And that's Gary, the landlord, who didn't, when somebody called the police or they just came and they posted on the door evictions. And Gary didn't give the police the keys to the apartment. Well, the police did the evictions. Gary didn't do the evictions. No. I'm not here unless the police evicted me. So, does everybody think, well, it's the landlord's apartment? Sure. Who's the landlord? Whoever gives out the key to myself. Whoever's not myself to myself. Do you know you've made the police so insane over my childhood that I grew up with so many different kids, and now you're trying to tell me which one of the police is my landlord? And then when they go away, I don't actually have their name or even the exact, I didn't make a police report myself. Shonda Novice, you owe all the cleaning motions on this apartment. Since the day you gave the key to myself and said that Charles Toe could stay. Well, the police evicted him out of elsewheres, and you think that I'm going to control Charles Toe with being the master of the universe. That would never be true. That's why the public is so big and it speaks so many languages and it's worldwide. You just put the whole world in this apartment with a few police officers' guns pointed at myself. Well, you didn't do the cleaning either, because that's 2 ways you didn't clean. You didn't clean just for myself, and you didn't clean for that Charles Toe was allowed to be here according to you, but you don't think so because you didn't clean. Well, it's your key. You made the key. You have the key. You somehow gave me the key. I didn't have the key. Even the police know that I didn't have the key. When I was in apartment number 2, I didn't have the key to this apartment. The police would know that because they put evictions on the door. That's how I got here. I had to apply. Did you not call the police and say that I applied for another place to live after evictions? Because I don't actually do that. I have to save myself. Why are the police ordering get out? That would be true if it was the landlord who gave out the key. So let me say, Mom, Dad, since you have a key, you made the key to my house. How do you want me to pay for that? Mom and Dad made the key to my house. Well, I don't have a key to start with. That somebody would have said, give me your keys and get out of your own key that you made your own key. It's yours to yourself. I think you don't have the interest on everybody who's holding keys because you don't have the interest that the correct person is cleaning the key. Well, I'm not going to clean this up. I can't. I'm not Shonda Navis. And if she got the key from someplace else, why don't you just say where you got the key from and why you won't give me another one? Because I don't want to live with Charles Toe because he was evicted by police from someplace else. And we're not two of us together in the evictions. By police. Yeah. No. That's the police needing to put people in jail, and I'm not going to jail for you. Well, you're really putting me through it because I'm not going to jail for you. Well, that's when you think I deserve everything that happened to me. Yes, I deserve everything that happened to me because I'm not going to jail for you. I didn't die the wrong way yet. There's still time for me to die deceased. That's what I'm going for, is deceased. I need to wash my hands because I just touched a wipe and a dead fly. And I want to touch the food, But I'm going to save the plumber's water because the plumber is a little unsanitary. Yeah, a little. But not as unsanitary as I would be if there was no plumber. That would be worse. Are you starting to think that the police don't have a plumber? Hand sanitizer. I suppose I could use hand sanitizer, but I don't have any right now. I like to wash my hands with soap and water. The hand sanitizer, I suppose that would be outside when I'm not near a tap. I am near a tap, and I'm going to save it for itself. And thank the plumber, and God bless the plumber. Yep. And keep going. I have new flip-flops on. They are too small. I wear a size 9, but my height did shrink. And so I ordered smaller footwear because my height is less by, 2 or 3 inches. And even though I have an enlarged head, I don't know how to measure that. So my head's enlarged, but I lost some of my height in the spine, and in the legs are shorter. It's a shorter spinal column and shorter length of the legs. And so I ordered size 8 Adidas flip-flops this way. That's what was offered when I said that I sort of shrunk myself. But it's too small. So I'm going to go back to the 9s. Well, I want Amazon to know that I thank them for that I have the flip-flops at all, but I didn't have that I could try them on in the store because somebody else was paying for them. And even if I was going to pay for them, the money would have come from somewhere. Do you know that I'm not able to work to pay for things with other people's money? No, because you have to hostage my keys where I sleep, and then you use that hostage to make somebody else pay for something that I need inside of the keys. And I said no to that. Yeah, I said no to that, and you wanted to live that hell out anyway. But now you don't make sense because I'm going to order a size 9 shoes, but I think that I don't really need them. I think the size 8 should fit, but it doesn't. It's too small. But why would I wear a size 9 when I don't have full height anymore? You mean that somebody who's 5 feet 3 inches tall or so wears a size 9 shoe? Well, there's something wrong with your stock. Yeah, your stock shrunk. Your size 9 fits me. That's how it's going to be because the size 8 is too small and there's no 8.5 of the Adidas. And I'm not giving up Adidas. I'm going to wear that until I die. Adidas flip-flops. I'm very blessed to have them. I'm so thankful to have them. There are people in this world who have stolen shoes, and these Adidas are paid for heavily with a lot of sports and working out and athletics and gym class for school, all the years of school. Gym class from, is it K5? Was that the beginning of gym class? It's not K4. It's either K5 or first grade. I want to say K5 maybe. Yeah, gym class all the way through high school, and then I graduated, and then I did some university tennis class. Yeah, and then there was teaching tennis. All that, I'm putting all that into buying the Adidas flip-flops. That's what I think is the money to me. All the things I did when I was healthy and I was able to. And I'm just paying for that. I would be healthy if I could, and I would still be doing sports or athletics or working out in the gym or riding a bike or anything. I would be doing all that until my last breath, and I think I would not be alive anymore. But that's true that I'm alive this way is no thank you. I don't actually want to ask you questions, but you made me ask you for things that I need because you don't let me work for myself. Charles Toe is someone who hostaged my keys and said that I couldn't work anymore. And my mom and dad looked at him and didn't know what he was talking about. Yep. Somebody broke my order. Yep. That's what it looks like to me. Unfortunately, mom and dad were found out to be not nice about Charles Toe finding that they would not pay out a key to Becky in an emergency for Charles Toe to take over my rental agreement. Yep. Well, I don't know who's going to pay the landlord, but my parents, even though they don't understand why Charles Toe wants me to stop working, because all you do is you take my keys away from myself, and I have to keep going, and you owe me a lot of keys. But my parents didn't pay out a key when Charles Toe was threatening them that I didn't have a place to live at all because of him. Yep. Nope, they didn't pay out a key for that emergency. They didn't have an emergency like that. No. And they didn't let me in my own house. I'll never have another house again. I'm going to die without a house pretty soon. I'm your Godhead. I'm not an applicant. I'm it. If you don't know me or you don't like me, you don't trust me or you don't believe me, That's why I don't know you, I don't trust you, I don't believe you, and I don't need you either. But I am the Godhead is me, not you. So you don't really want to say that about me because of me. I say that about you because you're you. Comments are open. If you use the pronouns I, you, we, they, us, they, them, whatever. If you use anything, if you say I, if you try to say I is myself. It's not my name. You can't call me I. I'm also in the we between heaven and myself. I'm you to heaven. I'm us with heaven. When there's you over there. And I'm talking about heaven being over there. Heaven making emotion over there. Yeah, but you're not really me or I or you. You're an it problem. You don't really have to, you do so much in creation because God is trying to test you. Why do you even speak at all? If I'm here, you don't have to speak because I'm not blessing and I'm angry and there's really nothing for you to do but just be like a prison because you don't go into the prisons on the points you're supposed to, but you're supposed to be outside homeless and know that you don't have any property right because you're not in a prison. Just because you're in public doesn't entitle you to be custodians of the property that I am aliving, illegal alive property because it's left behind by people with different genitals than yours. You didn't start the world with a penis and make all those buildings look like that. The buildings look like they do or the houses look like they do. That's because of other genitals, not yours. So you have a lot of reasons, explanations, a lot of words. You have endless amounts of words to tell me why you speak at all. And it just goes on and on and on. Do you ever, let's say you had to die of your last final word. What would that be? If you had to say to God, I am done because I have spoken my final word. Would you know why? Would you know what you were saying with yourself and why you were done breathing and you could go back to God that way? If not, you need a jail and a prison just because you're substantially formed, substantially different than if you were going to die in a house or a car or in a building or in the public. So comments are open. I would like it if you directed your comments at heaven, the creation of yourself. And you could say to heaven what you think about what you saw in the video, if you have to leave a comment at all. But I would advise against it. You're doing jails and prisons on all the points you don't afford to speak. Because I'm saying I'm saying I'm you this way. It's we this way. And it's not this way. When you leave a comment directed at myself, I have genitals that are deceased. By that, you have been doing that my whole life. What do you want to take my keys and tell me why? I can't afford myself near you. I don't know why we've been through this whole world, because it doesn't really end with me talking to you about myself. That will never save me. You're threatening deceased. If you see me speaking, you're threatening deceased of everything here. It is like God, it's low, but it's God. And if the walls could talk, it would be me speaking. And you don't have the leverage of everything deceased, that you don't see the walls and cars anymore. You don't see the buildings and houses anymore. You don't have that leverage. Deceased is what's talking here. So I'm looking at some females, Muslims robes on Amazon.com that have head coverings, but I don't want them because they cover underneath the mouth, and I'm still hungry. Yeah, and I also am not done speaking yet. Well, but I want the robe because it has a hood. I can use the hood. I remember eating a blueberry bagel last night, and I don't like the odor of the blueberry bagel. It smells like mass produced to feed to strangers. And I need Joshua Stevens to make blueberry bagels fresh for me with blueberry cream cheese just for me. And that she wouldn't eat any of it. And if she can't cook anymore after that, I would like to take over her house kitchen and make that myself. Is that why you don't give up your house keys? Do you do miracle food preparation in there? That's a debt if you do that. It is, but you should not stay in the debt, because you can go below the debt in a minute if you just turn your keys into jail and prison and sit in there, until you disappear, because you're not supposed to find a debt and eat it. No, God does not know you that way. You are illegal. I don't want any more smelly bagels when I'm hungry. Joshua Stevens, I don't want any more smelly blueberry bagels from lenders when I'm hungry. She doesn't have any sort of time restrictions. Well, when she does make the bagels she makes on YouTube, they're like, once I see it, they're already done. So that was, God making the time right there, that she was doing that for the time being. She was making bagels and cream cheese flavored, like, let's say blueberry bagels with blueberries in the cream cheese. Yeah, so she did that on YouTube. And I don't really want the blueberry bagels that are dated for like a month, right? And then after that they mold, but they already smell. Like, I don't like the blueberries in there. I don't like the smell. Even though they're dated that they won't mold for a month. They're dated until like November 15th. It's the beginning of November now. I just want to say I don't like the smell of the blueberry. I don't want to eat them even though they didn't mold yet. Why not? Are we sure the blueberries didn't mold? The blueberries sit on a shelf at room temperature, and I put them in the fridge after they've been on the shelf. And how long do you keep blueberries if you buy them fresh? Are they good for about a week? Yeah, because those blueberries, they're not really true, are they? Joshua Stevenson. Yeah. Blackmail adultery, who came around the front door and offered his cleaning services. He didn't say, I saw your videos on YouTube, and I just wanted to offer to clean up for you. Clean the floors, He was like offering to be an appointment setter. Yeah. Set an appointment for someone to come out and clean for no pay at all. He said he would do that and the state would pay for it. And I was like, what? And he said, you can even have a family member do that for you, that they'll clean your floor for you. And I said, I don't really see it that way. No. It's the state's money, is what I said. Well, the state doesn't really pay for cleaning an apartment unless he wants to do that for Shonda Navis is not here. Is Creator 8 just really hypersensitive that Shonda Navis is about 13 years in the wrong in the cleaning department? That she didn't pay out a key to somebody and clean in there? Or keep the key and use it to come in here and clean while I am living here because she can't be in here while she's in the office, and where else did she go? I don't know where she went. If I need anything about that, she gave me a key and I can contact her in the future. If she was in jail or prison, I think I would have another key by now. Yeah. Well, the hoopiness blackmailed adultery who handed me the information about cleaning services for this apartment. I didn't tell him where I am. I don't know how he found the place. But if he was going to do any cleaning, he didn't just barge right in and clean and then leave when he's done. If he's just threatening to take the apartment, so did I threaten to take the apartment. Yeah. So what's he going to do? Just thug me right out the door? You know, the police don't stop that problem. It's my whole creation of myself deceased that stopped him from thugging me right out the door. I don't believe you. Knock, knock, knock. Get out. I don't believe you. Something died or I'm not here. Yeah, but look at how long Charles Toe was a home intruder. Yeah. He was here a long time so that nobody should laugh. Even I'm not laughing. That wasn't funny. No. Yeah, but are you trying to take over that Charles Toe's not here so you know he's not here? How do you know he's not here? And if he died, how do you know that? If you're not creating Charles Toe genitals with your own genitals, how do you know that he died? So you miss him. You know he's not here. But how do you know he's not here? I'm not going to give you any money that he was here. He's not here now. That means he's not here ever. Time has ticked off. I'll never see that problem again, I think, unless he comes back because I'm still here. Yeah, but I'm due in heaven on that point. I don't actually want to say that I took over a life. Well, I'm cooking for myself. I'm doing things for myself now without Charles Toe being here. So I sort of don't feel like he's holding me alive in this apartment right here. Yeah, by that he was paying rent and bringing restaurant food in here. Shonda Navis, you owe cleaning for 13 years. Did you not want to do 13 years of cleaning, but you owe Lynn Bartkiss that you did that? Lynn, the cleaning lady, Lynn Bartkiss. Nobody ever took over for Lynn. Did she not want them to? Oh, sure, you want me to take over it all. Once I take over it all, it will be homeless. I'm just letting you know. Are you tired of hearing it? Not as tired of heaven as I am, that heaven doesn't have these things done for me. I can do what for myself now? I can do what now for myself? Because I wasn't born that way. No, that was born the size of a 3.5-year-old, and I can't cook for myself at that size. Well, so you don't want to pay for anything. I know you don't want to pay interest on a credit card, but you approximately don't pay for yourselves. Do you have everything, all the charges paid in public, so you don't have any problems? Okay, let's get to the end of that. When you don't have any problems, when you see God when you die, you're going to say, I didn't have a problem in my life. I don't have a problem with God. But it's still you and yourself, and you're not alone. You can't really do that to yourself. So I asked for French fries on the last shopping list. And I got those fries that I showed. But there are seasoned fries. They have seasoned fries. And I didn't get the seasoned fries. Why not? You didn't know I like seasoned fries. Okay. So what kind of fries do you like? If you don't know you like seasoned fries, well, then how can you do my shopping list? Don't you have to pass the list on to somebody else? I'm skipping the pesto tonight. I have not used pesto before, but tonight's not my night to try it. I need food that just appears ready to eat. That's what a chef is to me. What am I doing here? I'm a cook here, and I would not. Nope, because I'm not going to help you with that. Do you don't agree on that somebody's going to cook for me because you wouldn't do anything for me because you don't have a problem? What makes you think it's a problem to do something for me? I don't have any interest in you is sort of what you're trying to tell me. I don't, but that's because I am myself. You are yourself is something else. Everybody wants to be myself to myself, and you're something else. You're so far away from what I am to myself. I was wondering if you know, I can't avoid saying it anymore. You should really be a little more humble and know that you need something because you allowed yourself. You allowed yourself you need something. You can't be so arrogant and proud that you don't need your own alive, certain parts of your life. You know, you break your alive into parts. You talk about some parts of your life, and other parts of your life you neglect, ignore. You cut it out of your life. You sell it for food. Or what if you just eat? If you eat anything, you ate something out of your life. You ate something out of your life. Like, no. You ate something, no. I don't do that. I don't do that ever. You don't afford me. You don't afford to snivel my whole life to yourself. You're going out of a life permanently, but you're still here now because you owe money more than that. You owe more money in God than if you go out of a life permanently. Well, that's going to be an uncomfortable afterlife, and you're going to say, oh, wow, it's too late. That's you being a glee party. I don't know you. Okay, I hope that's enough. Yeah. There's water in there, so I need the sauce to be smooth, not watery. Try that. So, Dr. Theodore Gertel, he left some scarring on my left leg at the knee after a diagnosis and after I don't know, in recovery in the hospital. I could see the scars, and he did come right to the recovery room to see myself. But Dr. Gertel did the diagnosis and the treatment plan for surgery so fast that I think he didn't have enough money for that. He did that to me because I sat in the diagnosis exam room, and I said to myself, but I didn't say it out loud, surgery, because I just finished growing about 2 years ago. So, but growing. So I was growing from 3.5 to 4.5. So just say 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 to 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then between 14 and 15, I stopped growing. But the diagnosis occurred when I was about 16 and a half years old. So about 2 years or a year and a half or 2 years, I had stopped the interest in the growing, that I was physically growing. And then I had been holding full height for about between a year and a half and 2 years. And he did a diagnosis and treatment plan of surgery faster than I could grow an inch. Yeah, if I was still growing. Well, that's how God made time for me. And the surgeries happened so fast because I said yes to the surgery. I did not say no, because he didn't offer me something like, that's the diagnosis and he's going to look after my leg with me for myself, as though my leg is on myself and he knows what's wrong with it. I don't need help being myself. I need to be someplace with myself. And you're supposed to fight over me, but you don't know what's wrong with yourselves. You don't know you have a problem. You have a problem and you don't know it. You have a problem and you don't know it. You have a problem and you don't know it. It's exhausting to even be near you. My whole leg fell apart. And I did get the surgery and I went back to tennis, but that's a short-term existence. Tennis was going to end. That was known well in advance. Tennis at Homestead High School. I only had 2 seasons left and I missed one. So then I had 1 season after that. And then I have to move on. Dr. Gertel, you should have been more in touch with someone who is a youth with an injury. Yeah. Well, my mom was in the exam room and she knows that I grew my height all the way up. Yeah, from being small. She did know that right there in the exam room. Well, so it was alive that way for her and for me. I would turn this light off, but there's something about counting motions because I would try to save the light bulb up there. Yeah, but I also don't want to turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on. But I would like it off for now. You know what I would like? When I die, I want to see God when I die. And I want to ask him, why was my life experience, why was my life to myself difficult for myself to myself? What are you hiding from everyone else who went away? And what's that in money? Like, how do I get that money back? Yeah. Now I'm out of my graces. Well, I just want to ask God, because God made my life with myself, by myself, to myself, for myself. So that's yes. But I was not alone when I was in trouble in my life. So why? Is that an involved question? Because it's a careless answer from you while you're alive. It's very careless of you. You make it seem like when I see God, when I die, he's going to be like you and he's going to be busy. He won't have time for my question because he's busy. Yes, I'm none higher than he, deceased right here. I'm none higher than me, deceased right here. But I'm being created, unfortunately. And that's what it feels like to be me, because I've been like this for far too long. But it's still like recording. It's right here, recording. I'm not something other than what I said. I'm none higher than me, deceased here, and I have terrible effects of having been created. I'm mentally very low. It's too low, really. I want to die in God soon because it's too low to be me. Comments are open.